change is really good sometimes.
Remember Aerith and Cloud sitting mostly in silence as chocobos trotted across what should have been a romantic setting? And clumsy, shoddily designed mechanical contraptions that can't even turn around to attack the party? Well, now we're treated to spellbinding scenes like this.
Everyone dies eventually. But whatever happens, you can't fall in love with me.
Do I get a say in all this?
The biggest benefit of having 4 console generations in between the original and remake is that Square Enix could infuse all the technology they wanted in order to make those standout moments extra special.
It all blends together. The visual fidelity among the main cast was astronomical, even though, yes, there were many who laughed at certain low-resolution textures on doors, flowers, ground, and wooden panels.
I haven't played through Final Fantasy XIV, but Remake's graphical hiccups, they can't be as bad as those infamous low-resolution grapes, right? Damn, that is a special kind of awful right there. Let's cut Remake some slack.
Although, there's some serious physics issues with all the background objects. Look at Cloud plow through scrap metal, office furniture, tables, and chairs like he's just some kind of construction machine transformer. Everything flies everywhere. That would friggin' hurt. Someone who stubs their toe or bangs their knee on a single chair would be swearing like a drunken sailor. And what is going on here?
Good lord! Someone call an exorcist!
People who hate for hating's sake are going to focus on those insignificant things, which is too bad, because there's tons of beautiful artistry, which range from big bombastic summons and their pyrotechnic elemental storms to minute details, like that shimmering green Mako aura in Cloud's blue eyes, that even Tifa takes note of.
Yeah, your eyes. They used to be less...
It's the Mako. Soldier, remember?
While there's definitely adjustments made to clothing and specific details, especially with the female characters, it's honestly more practical and respectful, in my opinion. The overall aesthetic, colors, and important features, though, are very faithful to Tetsuya Nomura's original designs, and should please most of the old school fans. Except for Sephiroth looking like he's 7 feet tall here. Like, holy frick! Cloud looks like Sephiroth's disobedient punk little kid here. On the Final Fantasy fandom website, Sephiroth is listed as 6'1", against Cloud's 5'8". He's certainly taller, but come on, that's only 5 inches worth. Maybe Cloud's visions and PTSD from his past are making Sephiroth even more imposing and intimidating? I don't know what they were thinking here. Looking at the environments, it's enjoyable to simply pan the camera upwards, highlighting Midgar's design, those steel plates blocking out any natural light, no matter what sector you find yourself in. The shock of actual color and natural water floods your vision as you take in the one pristine, organically thriving area in the entire city, which is an engrossing expansion of what was presented in the original. Enemy designs, like this mechanical monster, show tons of personality with quirky animations, like that steel ball, which actually has to be taken into account while you move around and block. Callbacks like those shifty, evading ninja soldiers from the original are updated wonderfully, as are these poison-spewing mechanical smoggers. The environments aren't without hiccups though. This half-caved-in, demolished subterranean passage suffers from a bland, repetitive color scheme. And what kind of low-resolution budget JPEG image did Square Enix use for this climactic ascent to the Shinra stronghold? Look at that! My god, I think the ancient digitized skyboxes from Super Mario 64 from a quarter century ago look better than this. Weird how they'd cheap out on some random backdrops. Still, as a whole, the game squeezes a lot out of aging PS4 technology.
Their scripture too has endured.
Let's switch to the music. The soundtrack takes Nobuo Uematsu's traditional themes and supercharges them into an orchestral bliss.
Remake soundtrack is my favorite game soundtrack of all time, and I have a lot of previous favorites. Check out a lot of my other episodes if you're curious. It's better than Chrono Trigger's, better than Mega Man's, better than any other Final Fantasy. Square Enix even teases some of the more famous themes bit by bit. You get a brief glimpse of the Let the Battles Begin melody, which is the main Final Fantasy VII battle theme, while you're still in the reactor bombing mission. But it never goes full force into it. You then hear more strings and portions of it while you're being pursued by the Shinra security forces on the upper plate.
No holding back.
Until the circumstances get so heated, so intense, with the most elite, regular bad guys that you've seen up to that point, like the Huntsman, which culminates in the full battle music emerging, urging you to victory as you try to escape. That amount of detail is just not found anywhere else. The scope of charging, adrenaline-boosting music is without peer. You hear the bombing mission melody meld with that regular guitar boss theme as you face that Scorpion Sentinel robot. The Airbuster theme is no joke, almost 8 minutes long without looping, and includes that choir portion that engrosses you like nothing else. Simple changes of scenery and intent mean brand new takes on classic music. Early in the game, as you get used to exploring the Mako reactors, the sinister music takes on that ominous, threatening tone. But as you move more confidently through a new Shinra station, with Cloud, Barrett, and Tifa rushing through the catwalks above the slums, that basic melody is souped up into several diverse, pounding, heavy, and fast-paced mixes as you kick some ass. Evolving into a different variation as you go against those sweeper mechanical robots.
It's on you.
Then the new president, Rufus Shinra, changes that up again in a pulse-pounding rock remix of that same source material. Speaking of, every major boss seems to have its own remixed battle theme. The classic Turk music gets re-energized multiple times, twice as you fight through Reno and Rude's individual bosses. And then melding once again in the climactic battle with both Turks atop the plate. Classic themes like Run are interspersed effectively, just like the original. It was perfect for Cloud and Aerith's original escape from the Turks, and it works just as effectively as the train gets overrun by robotic security, as it becomes clear that the situation is desperate and the train is completely compromised.
And we cannot accuse Square Enix of being lazy when it comes to the amount of music. Just look at the amount of work that went into this. 7 discs, totaling 156 tracks, without counting DLC. Respect.
The only fault I can find with the soundtrack is the Jukebox collection of songs, which are just bad, for the lack of a better word. There's all these fancy images promoting these new skins on classic Final Fantasy VII songs. There's like 30 altogether, but none of them match the original's theme or energy, and just the basic quality of them is brutal. There's a few quests where you're supposed to be inclined to collect them, but man, like compare any of them to even the PS1 version and tell me which is better. I go into detail about the greatly enhanced character depth in this video, which homes in on which areas are improved in the remake compared to the original. But just a quick shout out to how much of an impact the voice acting makes here. The voiceovers are so well done. I honestly can't complain about anything from the main characters all the way down.
Who am I kidding? I'd probably try to tear your head off.
Aerith is sweet and genuine, but with a playful wit and charm.
Well, look who it is. Talk about a coincidence.
What are you doing here?
Waiting.
Why?
Because I'm not sick of you yet.
While Tifa's admittedly takes a bit more to get used to, but her voice integrates her slightly tomboyish talents while still holding a certain calm, motherly tone.
I know we have to think big if we're going to make a difference. But not like this. Aerith! There's a bar in the center of town, 7th Heaven. I need you to...
Barrett's commands respect.
You listening, Merc? One false move, and that happens.
Can lower into contemplation.
They come up in planetology books. Meant to be the original stewards of the planet. Could even commune with it, talk to it and stuff.
But also ramp up to show anger and anguish in equal measures.
Molly! Biggs! Wedge! Jesse!
Without sacrificing his sense of humor.
Think you forgetting someone?
Cloud is perhaps the most impressive because his almost monotone aloofness.
Which ones do you think we should pick?
Any of them.
So, how do you think they'll arrange these flowers?
Dunno.
Which only seems to change at first during intense battles.
Heads up! Tail laser!
I see it!
Then take cover already! Now! Get in there!
Gradually shows cracks. He comes to understand he can feel alive in more than just on the battlefield, like when comforting Tifa after falling out of the train.
You okay?
Yeah.
Or clumsily reacting to Aerith's flower conversations.
What'd they say?
It's not like you'd believe me after all.
Tell me anyway.
That short date he and Aerith have, or that one-on-one conversation in Tifa's bedroom. He still doesn't say a lot, but you can tell Cloud wants to share more than his stubbornness allows him. Great casting.
Not exactly small talk. Especially with someone you haven't seen in a while.
Were you impressed with the presentation of Final Fantasy VII Remake? And will Rebirth be able to convert you if you didn't enjoy that art style and music? Please let me know in the comments, and please like and subscribe for more RPG content and Final Fantasy content right here at Gaming Introspection. Good to see you, gamers. Take care of yourselves.